All right, what's up, guys? The three amigos are back. Um, so I think we have a lot to get to today, but I'd start now that I feel like this is now we're established because I'm about to do some ads. So I have a Dama dropping Sacred V2 cushion clear, first time bloom shapes in maple. It's an incredible Kendama. Um, Low quantity, weight matched, super sick. And then you guys are doing your event too, right? You guys want to plug that?
Yeah, Florida
Yeah.
Kendama Intensive, October 25th through the 28th. We're gonna be hanging out in Tampa, Florida. It's a sick, beautiful Airbnb. We got a nice and awesome squad forming.
Zachy.
There's Zacky's a
Oh
guest
Yeah.
man.
player. He's flying him out from Vegas. So sick. And then we have Lyndon Whalen from Seoul, Kevin DeSoto coming from Seoul, and a couple other players as well from the East. Of one from all the way in Canada and a couple from Georgia. So far it's an amazing group, and yeah, spots are
Awesome.
filling up. So it's I'm really, really getting stoked for it.
Yeah, I mean, Zachy's style is obviously maybe it's not so obvious, but it's just the new wave of kendama. It's juggling
Yeah.
in 2015. It's goons a few years ago. Like if I was able to go, I would go. But I live in Denmark, but and I have a kid. Because just me being just me being in Denmark really isn't like I want to go so badly because I would just go and talk with Zachy the entire time. I feel like
Yep.
I'd progress so quickly
Yeah.
because what he's doing is just incredible. So yeah, everyone listening should definitely try to go. I think it's really worth it.
Yeah.
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 And this is
Zachy
what the
is
new collab looks like. One
Yeah,
second.
mm,
the Kush feels so good. I'm uploading an unboxing like right now, but yeah,
nice.
here's the full setup. But like, yeah, because it's what I explained in the unboxing because it's like the rad paint under. I think that
Mm,
quality paint really brings the best out of the
yeah.
Kush. Like that same thing happened with the ether, where like we just put the factory
Mm.
sticky on it, but then that factory sticky was like it's like the best clear ever. I used it for KWC, um, but I
Wait, that
still
was
have
sticky?
this. This is sticky, yeah. Like
What?
people think it's rad, but it's anti-skid sticky. It's just over this really awesome design with really high quality paint. Like the actual space, the black, the like it's really good paint that he uses. So I think the clear just sets into that design really well. And the same
Wow.
thing is going to happen with the Kush. Like I've had the Kush for a month and a half,
Mm.
and it's like not going anywhere. It's not peeling. Like maybe like this one even like the anti sticky kind of frays at some points, but like the base of it is set into the paint where I've had this Tama for like a year and a half and I'm still using it. It's it's incredible. And then the Kush obviously feels
Mm.
like super sticky. It feels really grippy, but it's just
Hmm.
it's not too much where like lighthouses catch. So
Okay.
it's really solid. So yeah, it's dropping today.
Wow. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. I don't, I don't have one in hand. I just have the Gmod, but
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, Gmod's been just the go-to for stalls. I'm doing NAKO practice, and we can talk about that today. But there's like all like I have a few Lotuses once in a while that will catch stalls well if I get the good Tom and a good Ken. But the one Gmod I have, it's just incredible. Like it's still train and doing these penguin birds like that I need him to do for NAKO tricks. So yeah, it's
yeah,
incredible
Isaac,
at
how is
stalling.
yeah, how is so you've been practicing on that? You've been practicing
Yeah,
on that Kanama?
yeah.
Nice. How so the Nego tricks you've been practicing, obviously, I'm sure all of them. Well, I've taken a look at the list, of course, and um, what do you think? What do you think about the tricks this year? Because I've had some conversations with people in Zach and I's Gallagher school meetings recently, and have had mixed thoughts about them. But what do you think about the pro tricks this year?
Yeah, well, it definitely requires no distractions. And this is a good segue because I deleted TikTok and Zach deleted YouTube. So, Nick, have you deleted YouTube
What?
yet?
Yes.
You have.
Did you?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't send. Did you ask again? I said the video. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna
Okay,
delete this,
okay.
and then I'm gonna delete the app. Like,
I told
I
Zach
didn't send
before
a
you
message
got
after
on
that.
here. Okay. I told Zach before you got on here that I was going to call you out because you didn't reply. But just want to make
Oh,
sure.
sorry.
Yeah.
YouTube Shorts are dangerous, guys. YouTube Shorts are
Yeah, they're tough.
actually they're insane. They're absolutely insane. And so I put a blocker on my computer, right? My when I open
Mm,
YouTube on my computer, I don't get shorts. I get nothing on my homepage. And then
nice.
on
That's good.
and that's actually super effective. And then YouTube
Yeah.
is on the phone is just I just deleted it because
Yeah.
yeah, it's just impossible. It's just not. It's really tough because you can't. I don't think you can do that on the phone, and it's
Yeah.
really hard.
So everyone who's listening, we're holding ourselves accountable. I'm sending too many TikToks to Nick and Zach. And then finally Nick was like, dude, just delete TikTok. But Nick and Zach have shared with me in the past that they watch movie clips on YouTube.
Oh my God.
That
TV clips and movie clips.
so I was
I'll
like, dude,
watch. Yeah.
if you're gonna, make me take off TikTok, I'm gonna make you guys take off YouTube. But the secret is that I still have YouTube. So I'm still good in terms of like that late night binge watching. But yeah, so now you guys
What?
have nothing and I have YouTube. Yeah. So
That's good.
I won the
Well,
exchange. Or I
I
lost
no,
the exchange. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
will
you.
literally
Yeah, I
talk
think you.
about. Yeah, you lost. Oh, dude, I've had multiple instances in the past. I mean, this is just one example. I remember like over a year ago, I'm working at ice cream shop. I'm with Johnny. Like Johnny's working too, and all my coworkers are talking about this TV show called Suits. People are like, "Have you what episode are you on? What episode are you on?" I joined the conversation. I haven't watched a single episode. I've just watched 100 small clips, and I'm keeping up. I know everything they're talking about. They're
That
like, "Oh
is
yeah,
so
season
funny.
That's
five, Harvey does
insane.
this." I'm like, and then I add to it. I'm like, "Dude, yes." And then he does this, and then they're like, "Do you even wait? So you watch?" I'm like, "No." But yes. And then and then now it's like I watched probably the entirety of The Bear on Hulu, but on
Hmm.
YouTube.
Hmm. Right.
So
Right.
and
What?
Shameless.
Yo, I just
Yeah.
started watching Shameless. I deleted Minecraft. I was playing Minecraft a few weeks ago, and my
Okay.
brother-in-law, my brother-in-law was putting on Shameless clips. That's a good show. That's a good show.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah,
Gallagher family.
Yeah, the Gallagher family,
yeah.
dude. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh my God, you
I
guys are
will say
That
one
both.
more. Can
just
I just
clicked.
add one more thing? Can I just add one more thing for the people out there who are also trying to quit watching YouTube Shorts, YouTube? You know what I found out
Enjoy,
you could
Miller.
do is you know how it auto plays while you scroll. Oh my
Yeah.
God, I'm dead. I'm dead watching. I swear I will watch 10 minutes, 10 minutes, or I'm not anymore. But I would watch 10 minutes of a movie clip. Yes, I know it's bad. All muted, just playing on. I wouldn't even click. I wouldn't click on it because I was like, I'm better than that. I'm not gonna actually watch it. But it's subtitles muted, and before I know it, I'm
That's
six
so
minutes deep, and
funny.
I'm like, oh yeah,
You haven't
on
listened to
this
any
random,
audio.
on literally this random Jim Carrey movie from 20, like
Yeah.
10 years, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
It's so good. So I had to give it up. It's
Oh, I had
We
to give
just
it
look
up.
for any way for that dopamine, any possible way,
seriously, it's bad. Yeah. Okay, we're beating our addictions, okay?
Yeah.
So we just want to declare that.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah. So the tricks are,
Oh yeah.
let's see. So I guess when I analyze a trick list, I'm looking at like what's good for me, right? Like, are there a lot of like tap juggle
Yeah.
tricks?
Hmm.
And then what's bad for the best people? So like whenever I
Mm.
see Alex Mitchell on stage and he's doing these tricks, unfortunately, obviously, like he is just good at every trick, but I'm like, we have to find some tricks that he's not good at. And same goes for you guys too. Like he's been doing these tricks for so long that when it comes to
Mm.
I mean, what's one of these tricks? Cloud bounce, like the last trick is
Yeah.
lighthouse, cloud bounce, lighthouse. Like that's a trick that he doesn't need to practice for, maybe a little bit, but I think that's one of those tricks that he will just have on lock already.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. So that's kind of how I'm analyzing this of like, okay, do I like the trick list? It's completely like, yeah, personal, selfish. Like, how good am I going to be at that? Um,
Mm.
but I think that, I've been grinding open grinding open for like 4 years. 2019 was my first go at like a hardcore everyday grinding. And I think as I've grinded these trick lists the last 4 years or 5 years, I've been getting really good at the common tricks, the tricks that come up every
Mm.
time, you know? So I'm
Yeah.
getting to that level where I can keep those consistent and get those 3 times in a row. But then the ones that are a bit unique that I don't do in my normal play style, those are the ones that
Mm.
will probably get me in the tournament. And those are the ones that I need to really feel out and get down. Not only to like, I think every trick list has those tricks that like, there's going to be a point when you play somebody, whether it's you who's got it down or it's them because you don't have it down. Let me pull up the trick list and get some examples out here.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, I think what you just said, Isaac, is good. Good to. I want to talk about that really quick because you said you obviously have already identified the tricks you're already good at and the tricks you're not good at, and that's really. I mean, it's optimal to do at the start because as people wait to practice and as people kind of get down to the last month or the last couple of weeks to practice, if they only make their identifications then, it's like, okay, I'll finally start practicing. Well, then at that point, I don't even know if it's worth it to even go in on your
Yeah.
weaknesses like that because you're really only have so much time left.
Mm.
And by the time you hone in on the weaknesses, it might not even be enough to, actually hit it on stage consistently as you want to. And then all that time could have been going towards your strong suits and hone those even further.
Yeah.
So actually the fact that you have this out 2 months in advance is really good.
Yeah.
Mm.
Why don't I share my screen and then we can go over
Yeah.
the tricks.
Yeah.
Share,
Mm.
Zoom, share. Okay. You guys can see this?
Hmm.
Hmm.
So I think this is one that if you've practiced, you're gonna have it down. This is probably a 3 out of 3. What do you guys think?
Yeah, yeah.
This switch airplane 1.5 swap spike?
That one people can get down very quick.
Yeah.
I
Hmm.
honestly think it's not too bad.
Handle stall, orbit, handle stall. This is a tricky one that I've actually had trouble with. Um, I think
Mm.
handle stall flip is one that I would have down, but because of the orbit, I want to make sure I'm doing the full orbit. I think this is one that people will think that they have down, but when it comes to it, if you don't get it first, if you get it first try, you'll probably get a point. I'm talking like first, this is the first level, so like the first few
Right.
depends on
Yeah.
how you play for the most part, but this is one that I want to focus on because I'm not good at it. I'm surprisingly not good at it, but I need
Mm.
to get this down to get some points or to match if I'm playing a good opponent.
Hmm.
Yeah, for that one, it seems like I think the main thing is to go slower. And also the video example was inward. I find that to be easier just because it
Easier.
flows. It just you're already in the middle of the orbit as you do the earth turn, whereas you're coming
Yeah.
up on if you're doing a regular, then it feels like a little more extra effort.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Um, Hammer juggle spike. I have this really down. This is one of my best tricks. Um,
Mm.
Obviously the string is in the way. I think if you play most players, they're probably going to get this down. I think if you want to point on this, you're going to have to go maybe 2 in a row, 3 in a row. Um,
Yeah.
but then again, there's a chance in the beginning that you might not play a player that has these uh, juggles down. Just this new gen style where they might not be like super consistent, like a 3 juggle spike or something. Maybe 3 juggle
Mm.
spike, sure, but like I think the juggle part might get some players, and so I think it's important. But yeah, I think you need really good time of rotation there. You need to just have that down, uh, and then you need some string coordination. Some string control.
Hmm. Yeah. I think the people, honestly, if you're looking at it from a different lens, if people don't have that though, maybe are they in the wrong division?
Yeah. Okay.
Like, are
Yeah.
they
This
biting
is
off
one of
their
those.
are they biting off more than they can chew?
Yeah.
Likely.
I mean, I think that. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think you could be in the open division, but if you don't practice at all, this might be a tricky one. Um,
I see. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, but
yeah.
I think if you practice a little bit, this is one that like I think maybe some people who don't do a lot of inward juggles, it will click for them, and then they'll get it
Hmm.
down. You know, and then this
Yeah,
is one of those
yeah,
that I don't think stage nervousness will really affect it because it's kind of a flowing trick rather than like the
yeah,
handle stall.
yeah, yeah. The next trick
Um,
though is
yeah,
is
Oh,
like
that'll get anybody.
if
Like
anybody
anybody.
3 for 3s that if two people 3 for 3 that, oh man, like I'll give you a prize. Seriously, that's can get anybody, no matter how good you
But
get.
it's
Seriously.
funny because I didn't expect that because I can show you my percentage for each one of these tricks because I kind of like did 50 of them to see how many I'd get. But I was like, yeah, two
Hmm.
turn up, I can do all these tricks, but like when it comes to doing it in a row, this is my worst trick,
Mm,
which is funny because it's like
yeah.
the most standard trick, you know. But
I've just seen notoriously throughout pro divisions, just when it's 2 turn airplane and then dub J sick, man, everybody misses it just at least
yeah,
once, you know?
yeah.
So it's just tough.
And it's one of those that like obviously I'm going to practice, but it's one of those tricks that I feel like if I just like really concentrate on, I'm going to hit a pretty like a top limit of like how much I can get better at it. At the end of the day, it's just like slowing down on stage, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
When
Yeah.
some other tricks I need to be able to get really good at. But I think I have like that idea of what a two turn is. Obviously I can familiarize myself with it again, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's a
Yeah.
unique one.
Yeah. It's
Have you
just simple but tough. Hippie flip lighthouse. Yeah. That's, oh God.
I
This
think
one, this
I
it's
one's
was
from
grinding.
what year? What year is this from? 2017?
oh yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
grinding this one on the school call the other day,
Yeah.
and I made a lot of gains on it, honestly, because I haven't really put that much time to hippie flips. And yeah, it's definitely tough. I remember pulling it against So Canada in 2017, and I'm literally holding the Ken to start by the cups. Like I was literally, and it's like it looks so bad. It looks like like I don't even know if you can see the screen, but I was literally holding the cups like I was about to do a swivel to start, and then
Mm,
to do the hippie flip because it just because I'm like, oh, I got to move my hand out of the way, and it's not good form at all. Like everybody who does hippie flips for real actually holds it, down by the can. They throw it at the top, they hold it at a slight angle. But I was holding it by the cups, and I had to beat that habit over the past week, and it's I'm a lot better at it now. But this one will definitely be this one's. I feel like this one's kind of easy though once you have the technique for it.
yeah, I think so
Um,
too.
but yeah, just getting that technique because it does feel awkward at first.
Yeah, I think this one is kind of, it could be a fun trick to practice because this one you can go from like not being good at it to being pretty proficient at it
For sure.
within like a few hours.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Dub Singer, Dub Whirlwind.
Pretty
I,
easy.
yeah, I think this is kind of like a need to have if you want to if you
Yeah.
want to
Yeah.
beat somebody good, you need to have
Yeah.
this for defense.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're still
And we're still
backflipping.
backflip.
Yeah,
I
this
mean,
is
that's
That
money.
one's that one's
that's
easy
money for
too.
me.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I think this is going to take out a bunch of. Um, I mean, this is open division, so they're not like intermediates, but like not as experienced intermediates. I think is still, and then with the
Mm,
backflip, but then on the opposite spectrum of all like the top players, this is one that you need to have because like
yeah.
I mean, I know Alex Mitchell would hit this. I mean, the top competitors right now, like Miguel, Calvin. I'm not sure if they would hit this first tee.
Mm,
You need a certain level of Gallagher, Alex consistency to hit this. No, really though, like
well,
that level.
I
well,
think
You think
it
they
comes
have
down to
like
three.
Calvin has this?
Well, it comes down to like, can they get it 3 out of 3
Yeah.
on the
Okay.
moment? Because I mean, this one seriously, shapes are so big now, and
Yeah.
bevel like everybody has insane setups. I remember when I used to walk in the tournament and be like, no doubt, I have the best setup in this entire venue, easy. And then everybody has god setups. Like everyone
Yeah.
has just godlike setups, best
Yeah.
clear, best paint shapes. So this one, as long like this one should be pretty fine if you don't shake. If you shake, it's an inward still. I feel like they're pretty sturdy.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
say you just have to have it. Yeah, this one is definitely going to get like nobody's going to null this because they missed it 3 out of times, like 3 out of 3 times. Everyone's
Yeah.
going to get a
Okay.
point on that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And this is obviously really Kendama specific too. I mean, you need to have
Mm,
a shape that just locks in stilts.
yeah,
It's going to be tough if you don't have that for the day.
right.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Bevel flick, stump plane. I feel like this is going to be the hippie flip lighthouse type thing where you need to kind of learn it and
Mm,
get it down. And then once you do, you can get pretty proficient at it.
I feel like we're gonna see a lot
yeah.
of people not even get that first pull up. Like they'll miss the pull up
Yeah,
because it's easy. It's if you don't really, it's easy to miss it. Honestly,
yeah, yeah.
just
You
like
need to
miss
slow
the
it
spike
down.
completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think if you want to get through the first round, if you have bevel flick, if you have hippie flip down, that
Mm.
yeah, that gets you in a good position, you know? And then the rest obviously, but like those two specifically.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Around
And this
USA,
next one, yeah.
yeah. I mean,
Oh
this is
my
one
God.
like it's one of those tricks that like either if I didn't practice or if I do practice it a
Mm.
lot, it doesn't matter because of like how this is such a basic trick, like the two turn, where yeah, I mean I'm
Mm.
practicing, I'm doing it every day for
What's your
sure.
success rate on it?
I'm getting better, but it's not good. Um, I'll show you all my success rates after. Maybe we'll go like column by column, but uh,
Okay, well,
it
wait, maybe it does matter that you practice this trick then. If it's not
yeah,
good.
but it's one of those tricks that I think it doesn't require practice as much as it requires on the day being honed and taking it slow. Like I can practice
Mm.
this trick as much as I want, but when the trick is pulled, if I don't take it slow and I don't fix the string and shit, like I'm gonna miss it.
Mm.
Or are you going through the
Mm.
motions when you practice it right now, or are you going slow like how you would go on stage?
Right now, I'm just doing them. Yeah, I'm just getting a feel for each trick. I think I'm
Okay.
gonna wait to do that later. I just kind of want to like
Yeah.
yeah. I think the first try maybe I will like put some extra focus on, but then like if I'm like getting stuck on a trick, I just go in grind mode just to get a feel for it. Maybe that's
Yep.
not the right
Mm.
shot, but yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Mm. 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 Swing one turn, swap candle base cup, trade in. Okay.
Yeah, this is
That one's,
surprisingly
I mean,
easy
yeah,
for
that
me.
one's not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think this is a
That
3 out of
one's,
3.
I feel like we've just been seeing that kind of trick on lists for years at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
that trade in.
not too bad.
The only reason I'm good at that is because I never do that outside of comps. I think 2 years
Yeah.
ago they were in their battle. Brew Battle had it before, so I got that trade in pretty
Mm.
good.
Mm. 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 Next,
This
this
is a
is level two now.
yeah. This is level 2. Yeah,
Okay.
this is a trick that will crush me if I'm playing a top player. Like this is a trick that I just haven't done. I wasn't around Kendama with when everyone's doing the around the Ken shit. So I'm not
Oh,
proficient
you've
in
been
that.
around, bro.
I
You've
know,
been
but
around.
like I see some players even like with the amount of experience that I have that have just focused more on around the Ken, on moving through stalls with Tommy grip. It's something that I never did. So I need to practice this one for sure. And but at the same
Yeah.
time, for you guys, this is just absolute cake, right?
Inward lunar, inward
Well,
stilt, lunar, in.
This is a 3 for
yeah.
3.
Yeah. Well, man, when you consider this, it's like when you look at these stalls tricks and you see, okay, it's just a bunch of shifts with the Tama and the Ken. There's no juggles. There's no
Yeah,
chance of your string messing you up. There's literally zero chance. I'm not gonna say zero because it could tug on the lighthouse. Probably
yeah,
probably won't. But I mean, when a trick is as certain as that, it's like, man, you better have those. It's like
yeah,
that confidence. Oh, no juggles, great. Nothing can screw me up
yeah,
now, except for myself. Yeah,
yeah. I'm
yeah.
one of those groms that I'm good at like specific enders for 3 tap, but I never actually focus on interlunar to inward still. I'll admit it.
Oh
Um,
man.
but yeah, I'll get that down.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
literally my least favorite trick, but I'll get it down.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it's just the worst. Um, yeah, I hate that trick. So
Mm.
I think this is one that it's on the easier side. I think you just need
Yeah.
to. I think people are going to miss that first tap. I was struggling with that yesterday, missing the first tap, like you'd miss the first
Okay.
bevel flick.
Yeah.
Um, but I think if you practice this enough, then it should be pretty easy. The back cushion is going to get some people, but I've practiced that back cushion because
Oh, yep, yep, yep.
I lost to 2019. I lost to Madi. If I hit the back cushion, I would have went to top 8, and I missed the back cushion.
No.
Yeah, and so I every time that comes up at a comp, like it's full focus mode. Not going to happen again.
No way. You were
Oh,
you were
you
you were
lost
a
to
back
Madi in
cushion in.
2019?
Yeah,
I lost to him also in that comp. You made
Nice.
it farther than me.
What?
Let
No
me.
way. You were. It was 2-3.
Yeah, I think it was
Nice. Good
Marty,
work.
18th place, 2019.
Oh, wow, you
Yeah,
have it right there. That's
yeah. So I was so back in 2019. I was grinding these sheets as
yeah,
well, you know.
Wow,
But
yeah.
dude.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah. Let's go back.
Nice.
These are all the comps and my
Yeah,
places. Down man is
yeah.
first. Yes, let's go.
Let's
All
go.
right.
Good job.
NAKO 2020.
Nice, NAKO.
Okay.
Yeah, the one we just talked about, by the way, guys. Inward lunar, speed up, tap, cushion, inward lunar, back cushion. Okay. Yeah, I just want to clarify if people aren't looking at the screen. But yeah, that one, I don't know. That one's money. Come on, that one's a gimme,
Yeah, I think so
right?
too.
I mean,
I think if
come on.
you have good paint, you just tap that inward lunar, it sticks, and then you
Yeah,
yeah
it's the end that's the hard part.
yeah
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Bird juggle over the valley, inward
Bridger,
flip in. I like how they put the
I think
inward
it's a
flip
little
in over
more.
there. Nice.
yeah.
Um, but
I'm gonna get a
I mean,
coffee
this
too,
one,
Zach.
all right,
I
I'm gonna
concur
carry
though.
this one. I'm gonna carry
Yeah.
this one. So, bird juggle over the valley, inward flip in. You know, and this is something I kind of wanted to allude to, anyways. While talking about Pro Division, there's a massive skill discrepancy in the Pro Division. So when we're talking
Yeah.
about these tricks, I think Isaac, Nick, and I are talking about it from the kind of like the lens, like of when we say like, oh yeah, inward still backflip, like yeah, you definitely have that. Like inward lunar speed up tap push, inward lunar, that one's money. You're gonna have to have this because that's just easy. I mean, I think we're talking about from the lens of a really experienced open player, whereas you're gonna come across, I mean, Pro Division, the reason why the skill discrepancy is so massive between the players in the pro division, like let's say the worst player in the pro division versus the best player, is because that's the highest you can go. And at some point you can't go higher than that. Like there's no elite division for these, highest level pros who always win the
Right.
opens to go into. So these tricks, I mean, I'm looking at Bird Juggle over the valley and I'm like, okay, yeah, all the top players are definitely gonna have that. But I mean, for the player who's just getting the pro open, who's just, testing the waters, or maybe it's their third pro open. I mean, they might not have this. Depends on their play style, of course, too. But I mean, this one's going to be a tough one for people, I think, honestly, just because that control and the shakes. And I mean, it is tough.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
It can
agree.
be tough. Same thing with all these other tricks too. I mean, it's not like these first day tricks are exactly a complete walk in the park. I mean,
Right.
like especially even for, and honestly, top player, and like I feel like even these first day tricks, while they are the easiest and most top players are really going to be able to hit them. I mean, the first day is always the most dangerous for anybody to be anybody as well, because as I said, the skill discrepancy, people are going to start making it day two and day three, but you're going to see a lot less proficiency in some players as the days go on, because the tricks are just that much harder, and only the best players, the ones who have really practiced, but also the ones who have been, putting in so many hours prior to the comp, anyways, just in regular play, they're going to be the ones who shine through just because of how good their base skill level is. And then, they add on comp specific practice, they're already going to get these down. Whereas some people are going to be really good at day one tricks. And then that's as far as they're going to make it, because their skill just drops down when you get to a level up that's harder. So, um, but yeah,
You
I'd
guys
say
can go to the next one if you want to.
yeah,
yeah. Airplane, 1.5 swap, juggle a chem flip. That one, man, I lost
This
on that
is
at EKC finals.
that's my kryptonite
yeah.
right there. That's actually my kryptonite right there.
That's like one of my
Th-
best tricks.
Yeah, I mean, this is right down my style too, where I know it's every pro would be able to hit this 3 out of 3 for the most part, but like at least for my level and maybe for the lower experienced level, like if I'm at level 2 at NAKO and I play somebody random, like I'm really confident in this trick. Yeah,
Definitely, 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 definitely. Yeah, yeah. This one in the string is really gonna screw people. I just have a feeling.
yeah,
Um,
definitely.
it just
The sweat.
it's just gonna catch and it's gonna be unfortunate, but it usually happens.
Yeah.
I've had that happen with this trick as well. I've had this one's actually been in a couple lists over the years in some way, shape, or
Mm.
form. But the next trick is 1.5 turntable stall, trade down spike. Ooh,
This is a
This
nice
is
man,
one.
people
tough.
People
Sorry,
are
this is a
gonna
nice one. I like
not.
this one personally. That's what I meant.
You like it?
I mean, I like turntable pauses. Yeah, as long as it's, I'm not like a turntable maestro, but I mean, if it's like
No, 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 no. Go on.
2.5,
Yeah, yes, you are.
I like
Yes, you are. You literally invented the turntable pause.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. But I like to 1.5 turntable pause. Like, let's get it. You know, like, that's kind of what my initial reaction is to that
Well,
one.
After
I said that just because I don't know. I've been seeing Zack randomly get good at that trick for a long time, and it's just been kind of like, oh, why can you do that? So I understand why you'd like this trick. Yeah.
there's like a few concepts in this. I've been practicing this one a lot because I know that this is going to be a point getter.
Yeah.
The string, the string, it just when you
Mm.
turn that thing in, it just wraps right into all your fingers. So I think what I kind of figured out yesterday
Yeah.
how to manage the string. That's going to be a big deal. Um, I think it's going to take out like those good
Yeah.
players that haven't practiced this, you know.
Mm.
But then also like I'm not super perfect. I need to increase the a few different concepts of this, like the 1.5 turntable stall, you know, stalling to turntable. I'm getting better at that, but I need to improve. And then balancing and actually trading from turntable. That's like apart from the string,
Yeah.
apart from that, like I need to, you know, keep that time up, obviously. But this is fun one. I like doing this one. It's really fun.
Mm.
Yeah, it was
Trade
also
down spike is
yeah, the trade down spike is tough.
cool.
It was also like a World Cup trick in 2015. It was 2.5 turntable. So
Okay.
that's a nice little
Oh
bit of
damn,
history there. Yeah,
that's crazy.
I was a level
Yeah.
10 back in the day. If I was level 10 now, that'd be a freebie.
Yeah.
But that's why it's 2015.
Sweet's
Well,
special down spike fast hands, man. This is just cake.
that one's dead.
I like,
That one, if you
yeah,
miss it, it's like rough. It's rough because
yeah.
if you miss it, it's wow. Yeah.
If you, I think you gotta concentrate for that sweet special. Obviously, make sure the string gets on the spike, and then if you've practiced this one enough, you're gonna get it because it
Yeah.
just feels so nice
It's
for
just
the
there.
time. Yeah, it's just there. It's a really nice trick.
It's just there. Yeah. Sweet. Never mind. Gunslinger, juggle eight. Gunslinger.
Yeah,
Hmm.
That's a tough
You
one.
know what I like to do
That's
with this
gonna
one?
be
I
yeah,
like to actually swing it. I swing gunslinger, juggle late sling. What do you do,
really.
Isaac? Yeah.
no, no, that I think that's gonna mess up the string. I pull up. I pull up and get the string out of
Okay.
the way, so I move the Ken. So then the Tom and the Ken are
Wow.
right here, and then I juggle, get the string, keep the string out, and then I sling it. I
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at this one. I just need to make sure. I don't if I have too heavy of a lunar setup, then that gunslinger is kind of hard to get around.
Yeah,
Like
it's
I
tough.
can, but I need something. I don't think in level two the yeah, I guess you get a lunar here, but it's not super lunar demanding. So for the
Yeah.
setup that I have, I'm gonna have to make sure that I can sling it, or at least not be sweaty, you know.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
timer rotation, late flip. It's a lot like the airplane 1.5 juggle they can. Like if you got the timer rotation down, this one should be pretty good. I think a lot of people are going to get this one.
Yeah. Around stall star grip, you know, can someone remind me how they did it in the video? How do they do
Yeah, this
is it
one's
penguin?
you. Um, I'm not
Star
doing
penguin-ish for
penguin.
this player?
I don't think he did it. I don't. Parker.
Uh-huh.
So I think a lot of
Parker.
this trick is just figuring out how to grip it, and yeah,
Okay.
because this. So what I'm going to be doing is yeah, I played around with the penguin, but I kind of found a way holding it pencil grip. So I start here, and then I kind of like up here. Oh my god,
Okay.
it's like go back.
It's blurry.
No, yeah, cup here, and then I can kind of get to see. Yeah,
Okay.
so that's been
Nice.
helping me. Um, yeah,
Hmm.
this has basic fundamentals, but it's a long trick, so I think it's gonna be tough for some people.
Yeah.
It's a point
Goon pinch to
grabber.
spike. Yeah, goon pinch to spike is not getting everybody. Honestly, I say that, but people are going to have it down. It's just, I don't think people are going to through with you that trick.
No.
Dude, this is a really key trick because there's going to be top players who didn't practice a lot, and they're going to see that trick, and they haven't done any goon pinches. They're going to like not practice, and they're going to be like, yeah, I'll try to get by it. You know how some players do that. And if you're a
Yeah.
player trying to get up there, trying to get past round two, I think this is a huge point getter. You know, this is the one, and this is also a
Yeah.
trick. If you do get it down, you spend enough time, like you need to literally spend, I think, every day to have it consistent by NAKO. Just doing it a little bit, you know, that I think this is also
Hmm.
like, it could be a really easy trick, you know, like I think if you
Yeah.
just look at the way it's done, it could be a really easy trick.
Yeah. Especially when people pinch it by the bottom, like they go underhand. Have you seen that? Instead of like the overhand half pinch, they just
Oh
do it
yeah,
underhand.
okay.
It's just
I've seen
so
that, but not for this trick.
yeah, yeah. I've seen people do it for this one. It just looks so easy. But
That's it. Okay.
you
Let
know,
me try that. Yeah. So you go up and instead of pinching here, you pinch here.
yeah,
Instead of
yeah, yeah.
this, you
I
go,
would,
yeah.
yeah, kind of watch. I think J Dama J has does him like that. I think so. You might have to go watch some of his clips, but yeah,
Yeah.
it looks easier.
I
It
just
looks
was
easier. I don't
session
know.
with Benji Mastic, and he was
Mm,
doing those pinches, and they just looked so smooth. I think he had like this underhand grip too, but it looked really fun. It was a really cool trick,
yeah,
and he was really consistent.
yeah. Ken grip scooping goldfish
There's always a
straight down spike.
scooping
This one's
goldfish trick.
yeah, this one's I feel like this one's tough because of the might be hard because of the angle. Or actually, well,
Yeah.
I thought it's for some reason I thought it was down fast, but um yeah, all in one
Wait,
motion too. I mean, if people who no, it's just straight down spike. So I mean people don't I don't even know if I wouldn't be surprised if people don't even know what scooping goldfish is if they just got into Kendama like semi recently. So
Yeah.
learning this one, I mean, no, I don't know anybody who practices this. This used to be way more popular back in the day, but um yeah, this one's gonna be that one's gonna be interesting to see people do because it's
because you have
just a
to grip
very
switch in
unique
midair, right?
concept. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought
Oh
this
man,
was
I
for
would.
some reason a late
Yeah.
Ken.
What?
Wait, what?
No? Am I crazy? Okay.
No,
No, you
it's
just got to do it
Ken.
in one
Well,
motion.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I got to repractice that one. I did not do that right. There's always one of
wait, you
those
were doing a
tricks.
1.5 late Ken?
I was doing scoop up, late Ken spike. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know where I got
interesting.
that from.
I don't know where you got that.
So
Straight
it's
down. Okay.
boom.
Grip switch.
Okay, yeah, it's easier. But yeah, you got to
Yeah.
focus on the top, and then of course, like every time I'm at NAKO, there's a scooping goldfish, and then there's like carpet, and then there's wood like on the
Hmm.
stage,
Mm,
and you got to like figure out
yeah.
what's better. You have to like go up on
Yeah.
stage, I think, beforehand to feel it out.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I've always liked the skipping goldfish tricks in NAKO.
Yeah,
But you just got to remember to bring them up super straight, and super straight. Once you drag it all the way across, just bring it up straight up, and then yeah, it should be good. It should be doable.
yeah,
Um, Now level three tricks. Okay, these tricks are super hard.
yeah. They are, dude.
Yeah.
They're super hard. You know, it's funny because you
Super
watch the
hard.
video Parker's doing them. Parker's doing them. People are like, yeah, let's go. It's like, is this an edit or
Yeah,
is this
there's one trick
is
that
this
he
is it
did
trick?
that like, yeah, everyone was like yelling hard. Yeah.
Mateo Chance
Okay.
goes. Yeah, people are
This,
gonna get this one for sure.
yeah, this
Yeah.
is one of those that the pros are gonna get, and then all like the new gen players that are there, if they make it that far, they could get that too. You know, because this is just trendy,
Yeah, yeah, it's a tough
super
trick.
trendy.
It's really hard. Yeah,
I love
yeah,
that trick. It's really fun practicing it, but that's just because
yeah.
it's my yeah.
Juggles.
The juggles, yeah, and the stuff like fast. I've been doing that for a little bit recently.
Yeah, yeah.
The next one though is
This is one that
Oh,
I have not hit yet. I've grinded it like 10 minutes every day, and I have not hit this yet.
lunar inward one turn swap inward 1.5 back to lunar inward flip into. Yeah. It's so funny
That's
because in the video he's using like probably a one Kendama, but then once he switches to this trick, the Kendama has this Kendama is now
changes.
completely different. Probably like full cushion clear, super long
Yeah,
spike, legend shape. Like
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to bring out the Kush for this one too. I just made a setup to help me with this one. Like I never have done any tosses to backflips, but but the last
Mm,
just recently it was the KWC trick, the tap to it's kind of a backflip motion where you get to catch it.
Hmm.
So this is when I had to just literally start fresh and learn it. But
yeah,
um,
yeah,
my
Yeah.
swaps should
I think
be
this will
good
throw
enough.
people
Yeah,
off
yeah,
just because I think this will just be, I mean, it's such a lunar heavy trick. Your Kendama should be, to make this the easiest, as easy as possible, your Kendama should be just optimized for lunars. But,
yeah.
there's some, that's why it can be tough for people because are people really going to optimize for this trick? Or are they just going to, some tricks, some Kendamas are going to be a lot better for slingers, taps, juggles, and all this. But for a really lunar hone setup, I mean, I wonder if people are going to bring one in just in case for this trick, or if they're just going to kind of be like, okay, I'm going to play a less lunar hone Dama and just kind of hope for the best on this one.
Yeah.
Something like this. Yeah.
So the next one, I think grip matters just like it does with the around stall Sarah grip. It really matters. This is one that if you don't practice and you think you just have, I don't know why anyone would think that, but if you do think that, then you're gonna be in some trouble because you really need to figure out how to get to that penguin nightingale.
Yeah.
Um,
yeah.
so what I've been doing, let me know if you guys think this is okay, but I'm grabbing the cups out here and doing this. Is this legal?
For sure.
What?
Okay. Just want to make sure you don't have to just do this.
No.
Okay. We
Definitely
might,
legal. Definitely legal.
but you probably couldn't do this. I guess you wouldn't want to. Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. So yeah,
No, yeah.
I didn't like that trick when I first got it, but I've been practicing it and it's been getting easier. Yeah.
Nice, nice, nice. Yeah.
Um.
Pull up, chem flip, lay inward. Yeah, people are gonna be good at that.
You think so? Well, we got
I
maybe some
honestly,
Japanese. So
Japanese players coming.
yeah.
well, but honestly, from my experience, I kind of just feel like when you throw a lay inward in there, it just comes off so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just feel
resets
like
kind of, yeah.
you're not going the same direction all the time. So it's not easy, but people can get this one honed for sure.
Yeah.
Like yeah, eat for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like this is one that like I can just imagine Kelvin like beating Alex on this trick. Because Kevin practiced and like I don't know, like that. Like I can see Alex hitting this because typically Alex doesn't practice that much. He goes through the tricks a little bit. This one I think requires it's a little bit of unique trick. How do you guys feel about a slight spin to the Tama on this? Just a slight little Nick
I'll
Gallagher
say
inward juggle.
wait, what is that reference from?
When you play Johnny, didn't you spin it a tiny bit so you
Oh,
get the
yeah,
inward
yep, yep,
juggle?
yep, yep. Well, I did it in such a,
So
I did it in such a good way. You can go watch it in at NAKO 2022 Open Finals. Watch it on the Sweets channel. What I did, it was opposite hand juggle for the win. I know it's kind of a sidetrack, but I practiced it like this. So I would spin it. So I'm holding my right hand because that's my opposite hand, and then I'd spin it to the left. I'd spin it to the left, or no, sorry, I wouldn't spin it to the left. I'd pinch the top of the string and move it like this. Can you guys see that?
yeah,
So it wouldn't look like I'm spinning it, but I'm just pinching slightly. I'm just giving it such a slight spin to the left. So when I
yeah,
go for it, it's gonna spin back towards the right. So usually how I did it was try to do a full earth. And so if it was spinning towards the right, it would always be on the right half of the side, which would make it easier for me to actually get in. So yeah, that worked for me. And yeah, I did it in the finals and yeah.
you won.
I first eat it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm
yeah.
definitely planning on doing a little bit of a spin there. It's been helping me a
Yeah.
lot.
I really like to just find little things that'll just
Yeah.
help me for just and you just kind of figure them out as you go the more you practice them. But you were talking about this trick for the pull up Ken flip one?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, isn't sometimes a little spin kind of just inevitable? Maybe that's just the way I release the tom out of my hand, but
Yeah.
man, I just
mean,
can't get it to not spin a little, you know? It always spins a tiny
Yeah.
bit.
I at least
Maybe
make
that's
it
just
look
me.
like I'm not it's inevitable, but I definitely spin. But I know that
Well,
they could
I mean, it's
regulate
not
it
like
if they wanted to.
well, it's not like I'm spinning. It
Right.
literally just looks like a normal release. But
Yeah.
the way my hand releases off a Tama, it slightly nudges it, so it
Yeah.
spins a tiny bit. Um, but anyway,
It's not
I'm
like
sure
a
it's fine.
Shinosuke catch and release
No,
spin.
no,
No, it's
absolutely
not
not.
like it's
No,
not like a spinning
no.
spike where you let it rip it, wait for a bit, and you're like, all
Yeah.
right, let's go.
Like, like the time was going at the
In
Earth
Hong
speed.
Kong, I was really surprised. People were spinning crazy, or like spinning. They were spinning the Tom pretty intensely over there. Honestly, I was really
Yeah.
surprised because I mean, back in the I don't know. It was just my integrity or just the overall general consensus of integrity from back in the day. Which I say back in the day, I mean just a couple of years. But I feel like yeah, like the fact that you even asked, like, yeah, you guys think it's okay to spin it? Like, yes, that's probably most people's thoughts. But for some people, it's
Yeah.
like, of course I'm spinning. I mean,
Yeah.
people at KFC, they spin for sure. I mean, they'll spin on stage
Oh
all
yeah.
day to get that dominant, and good, like more power to them because it's not like they're gonna get disqualified for that. It actually counts.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think the difference between I think we covered this last time too, how the Japanese have a little bit of a different perspective on the rules and cleanliness and integrity. Um, but I think it's because it's a niche toy here, and everyone wants to respect the community and the rules because it's so niche. When if we were all playing a more popular sport like soccer, we would just do like how we look at soccer rules now. It's like if I can get away with a little tackle, I'm going to get away with it. And if not, the ref will call it. When over
Mm.
there, because it's a popular sport, they probably feel the same sort of way. Where like, yeah, I'm going to kind of do the best that I can, just like I would in any other sport. Um, where there's a Sarah grip, right? They do a lot more Sarah grips. Uh,
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
yeah, except for the fact that, I wouldn't slide tackle someone from behind in soccer and just play it off like it's all cool. Just how some kids in Japan are literally the handing insane in the prelims, Like that they're like literally literally some Japanese kids in the preliminaries for KWC, like I swear to God, they'll grab the entire Ken with with their hand. And my first year I came to KWC, I was like, all right, the integrity is going to be on point. Everybody, I mean, it's Japan. All
yeah.
these Japanese players, they're the most legit. Literally, like still trade to
But
handle stall. This guy's handing it straight
yeah,
up. And I'm like, wait, what's happening right now? So I think that'd be like the equivalent for me coming up behind somebody in soccer when they beat the last defender and there's only one on one with the keeper, and I come in and I break their right leg, and I'm like, wait, what? Like, I'm like, wait, I actually
yeah.
got a card for that. Yeah.
But like I think like in soccer, at least for me, maybe I'm a little bit of a dirty player, like in basketball too. Maybe I foul a little bit too hard. My brothers always complain. But like if I can get away with like a little pull, if I'm like guarding this guy, if I can kind of tug him a little bit, I'm sure you guys have done this too. Like, it's not like you guys are like super anal, like 100% not fouling because of the respect of the sport. Like you guys are just kind of, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but
There-
I totally feel you that like the handing is just. But I think because of the culture of Kendama over there, that you have players who, yeah, it's okay to Sarah grip, and then you have those players that would tackle, break the guy's leg like we have on our soccer teams, and then also would hand really
Yeah.
hard. But it's just like
Yeah.
way down in the Western Kendama world.
Yeah. I think it's kind of
Um,
just an issue that you have to like people have to personally get over one way or another
yeah,
at some point.
yeah,
I think it's just
yeah,
yeah, it's a
yeah,
personal thing.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think
Here's
like the
Mikesha.
Western culture has a little issue too of being too much integrity, where like not posting a trick because it looks like it's handed. Like for me, when people would do that, it would just be
Dude, yeah.
the most ridiculous thing. Like,
Yes.
God, you didn't hand it, you're good. But there's almost like a thing that you got to
Yep.
get over with too. It's so funny.
And
They're
it's
almost
also
opposite.
like, yeah, it's like, oh, you grind for hours and it's not, and you're like, oh my God, yeah, it looks like a hand, so I have to redo it.
Yeah, it's
Or,
like no,
and some
yeah,
people want to get the tricks cleaner, which I get it,
yeah, yeah,
but, but if they want to get it cleaner because it looks like it handed, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know. People have their personal preferences with that for sure.
right,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so two-turn cushion. You guys think this is the easier ones of the level three?
Yeah, it's a good one too. I like this one. It's nice.
Yeah,
And I mean, I feel like it's one of the easier ones. It's way more straightforward. And I mean, yeah, two-turn cushion, like that's money. Two-turn swap out, toss two-turn cushion. I mean, that'll be difficult, but I mean, that's yeah, I think that's one of the easier ones.
I feel like I would call this a 1.5. It kind of confused me when I saw two-turn cushion, not 1.5 cushion, right?
I agree.
Yeah, yeah, I
Okay,
agree.
but it's a 1.5 cushion. Okay, and then it's 2.5, which is one, two, yeah, maybe two turn. I don't know. Yeah, that would be a two turns. No, that would be a 2.5 swap, right? Because it'd
Two
be
from
two
my
turn
swap,
swap.
toss, two-turn in, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Um, Sarah wing, slide under bird, slide to penguin wing, penguin spike fast hand can grip. This is going to take some concentration. This is going to take
That,
like
that's
good.
like your favorite trick on the list.
Yeah, yeah, no, not at
That's
all.
gotta be
Especially
your
with the
favorite.
I hate penguin tricks too, dude. Oh my God, I hate that trick. One of those that I just like. If I were to give up a trick, it would be that one, or it'd be the
Oh
one
my.
distill. Yeah, I hate that
Oh
trick.
man.
I hate just Ken grip stalls. Like at one point, I liked it. I probably will like it in the future, but
Hmm.
it's just not exciting to me.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
so
What about the
yeah,
next trick
but
though? The next trick is looking pretty good though.
oh my God, this is my favorite trick. I love this trick. I can't wait to practice this more. As if I like, I mean, literally, like before any comp, I would just go out and do these all the time, or I'd just do four tap swap spikes just to like get it down super consistent. But yeah, this is a
Yeah,
great one.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
really cool they put this in.
Yeah, three, two,
Yeah,
Hmm.
one, tap, jug, spike.
yeah. Here's your guys' favorite trick. Still Trey.
Still Trey.
Still try.
I
Yeah,
Soft
mean, that's
spike
one.
too,
I
Yeah,
huh?
that's definitely one I would be looking forward to getting into.
yeah. Yeah, this is one I've hit a few times, but I don't have it consistent. I find it so hard to catch the stilt when it's coming sideways versus when it's usually coming at me, because I'll
Hmm.
trade. I'm getting the trade rotation down, but just catching it, I do not have the concept for that yet. I can't really like. It needs to be just the most perfect toss rather than like
Yeah.
a good toss and a good catch. But
Hmm.
Well, a good tip
Yeah.
that Nick told me a long time ago, and this I guess more applies to multi tray flips, but I mean for still tray, Nick said like do more up than out. So for trays, people have this, I think,
yeah,
maybe really focusing on, okay, I have to flip it sideways, like super sideways, like in the middle of 2 and 3 o'clock. I mean, this stuff,
yeah,
but one thing that really helped me to get this, the still get the tray off, but have a more so vertical flip is really just a flip. Okay, well, like let me just play around with the flips here, whether it be flipping towards like 1 o'clock. Let's see if I can still get a tray around while keeping the Ken as vertical as possible. Because I agree with you, if it's super sideways, that's a lot harder to flip. And
yeah.
also another hack that might help some of you guys listening and you, Isaac, is actually offsetting the bevel, the Ken placement on the bevel a little bit. So if I'm right-handed, I'll offset if I'm doing trays, and especially if I'm doing multi-trays, I'll offset the Ken a little bit to the right. So the spike will be slightly pointed towards the right, and that I feel like that helps me get the tray off easier. So the Ken isn't
Interesting.
straight on. It isn't straight on like this, but I'm kind of adjusting it to where the spike is slightly pointed down to the right, and I feel like that gets me that tray flip off a lot easier with less effort and less
Down to
focus
the
on it, honestly.
right.
So I can just focus more on the yeah, yeah,
Towards
yeah.
your hand. Towards your hand.
Yeah, yeah.
Toward
Okay,
towards your hand. Yeah.
that's a really good tip. Yeah, I was. I mean, I just really started doing trades, so I was at first thinking of it as a lunar, where I go more 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, but then I kind
Mhm.
of learned, okay, go 3 o'clock. But maybe with this offset, I can go more two, and that will make it an
Yeah.
easier catch. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's when yeah, that's just one that I gotta grind out.
Did you just say,
Um,
hold on. Did you just say you go 3 o'clock for stilt
I go
trays?
through. I literally feel like I go three
Dude,
o'clock.
that's why you're missing all of
Okay,
them. That's
but how
that's
do you
literally
rotate?
why you're missing them.
How do you rotate it? When I go 2 o'clock, I land small cup.
Really?
I don't get,
Oh.
yeah, like I don't get how
It's just
is it
I think there's a little flick of the wrist there. Like it's like
okay?
a
Yeah, okay. So you go more two, but then okay, interesting. But yeah, I've literally been doing
yeah.
3 o'clock and then just getting really lucky.
Wow, that's insane. That's
Yeah, I mean, I've only
actually
landed it a few
insane.
times, but
Dude, for
all
inward
right.
still trays, I go completely to the side. So I'll go like 9 o'clock on inward still trays.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Um,
How are you
Wow.
swap spiking that? How you feel on the swap spike?
oh, I feel
Are you
great.
just
I feel great in the
okay? Yeah.
stop spike. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just, yeah, I just missed it.
Yep, yep, yep.
Yeah.
Um, airplane five tap in.
This
Love
one's a
it.
banger.
I love to
Absolute
see
banger. I
this.
don't care who you are. I don't care who you are in Dama. If you hit this on stage, that's like that's a you're that's a kind of like a pound in your chest feeling. Like I just laced a
Yeah.
bang. That's a banger open trick. Same with
Yeah.
the
This
lighthouse
is,
cloud bounce, but this one is honestly the airplane five tap is really just like the banger of the list, I think.
yeah, this is, I think
Mm,
this is going to separate, I guess most of them will separate the top eight to the finalist, but
For sure.
I can't imagine a finalist missing this trick. You know, like the finalist is going to hit this trick. If you're like first round top eight, you know, maybe I could see like an Alex Mitchell. Do you think he'd miss his first try and then get it second try, or because you know
I
it's
mean,
surprising when
I trust him to hit it at least 1 out of 3 times. But I mean, dude, this trick is I wouldn't be surprised if people just 3 for 3 miss this. And I'm
yeah
not saying that's gonna happen, but I'm just saying this is just a banger, you know?
yeah
Like this is just a banger open trick. So it's tough and if someone hits it, chances of someone matching it is really low.
yeah. It's always
mm.
surprising for me when I see the finals of an open division and they miss a good amount. Like, of course, these tricks are really hard, but it's not like they're hitting every single trick. You know, there's tricks that are difficult enough where they'll miss all three or they'll miss two, you know, get the last one. So a few of these tricks, you can probably expect that to happen with, you know, when you see open finals, like which ones are they going to miss and which ones can I practice more?
Hmm.
Last
Yeah.
one, lighthouse called lighthouse. You guys got this trick?
Nick does, I don't.
Okay, this is like a new concept. Yeah, I'm just getting it down. It's fun to learn this because I've been avoiding it for a while. So I mean, I've hit some cloud tricks,
Mhm.
but like I haven't had it consistent. But yeah, I'm just exploring like you know when to pop it up, the separation of the
Hmm.
Tama and Ken. Nick, do you have tips for this?
Yeah, well, yeah, hold on. Well, let me my I'm in my headphones, so it's a little tough. I can't really stand up. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I have tips. What you want to do is I'll just carry my phone. I see a lot of people try to do the cloud bounce. I used to do this too, where I used to try to do the entire movement like super high up on my chest. But you really just want to throw the ball from, I guess, kind of where your stomach area is. I just
Okay.
know that that's a good. You just want to be more relaxed in it than usual. I remember I used to throw my cloud bounces really high and just for some reason bring up my Tama with the Ken, so it just looked a little uncomfortable. But you want to be really relaxed, and then
Yeah.
of course by the time like we all know this, but the Ken is gonna have to face straight up by the time it twangs in midair.
Yeah.
So I usually do it right when the big cup starts to face me, or the cup that's facing you after you do the flip of the lighthouse, and then you twang it up, and then or you throw it up, it twangs, and then it
Okay.
should do it. I honestly think that lighthouse cloud lighthouse is probably for me is the easiest version of a cloud bounce that is able to get a clean flip. You know, like it's not
Yeah.
going to spin out of control. I know
Yeah.
it says any flip is okay, but I just feel like this one is the most consistent that you can get a single flip, like a clean one on, just from my
Yeah.
experience. I've tried airplane, jug airplane. This one's just better for me. So yeah.
Yeah. Clouds are weird because I'm really focusing on when I'm throwing it up there. And like usually I'll just do it a little bit too early and get a bunch of flips. But then sometimes it looks really perfect, but then the Ken will go sideways and stuff. I don't know if I'm catching cup. I must be. Maybe I need to keep the Ken more straight or something. But I think I catch cup and then it just goes like insane.
Interesting. Well,
Yeah.
how are you? Where do you? Well, are you throwing it on on your left side?
Yeah, I am. And I'm throwing it. I've been throwing it pretty high, like you said. But then I've seen people do lower clouds, and you just mentioned it too. But
Yeah, you want to like throw the I yeah, that was good. You want to throw the tom up a lot faster, I think. I think
yeah, okay,
but you have to wait. You have to wait, then wait for the Ken a little bit more. It's like
yeah,
and it just yeah, like that. Yeah,
okay, okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
this is on
Because of
my
it, yeah.
like grind list. Yeah,
If it's too slow, that's why then the Ken will just spin crazy. But
okay,
um, it's got to be super. Yeah, just throw that thing as hard as you can into the can, honestly, up into the air. Not really, but give it some force. And then I heard a tip from Cloud Kid in Spain. His name's Aaron,
Hot
and
Bounce Kid.
you just Cloud Bounce Kid. He throws the cloud like this, like so it's not across the can. He just throws the Thomas straight up, and I know some people. I have the habit of doing this. I'm not sure how much it matters, but I throw the cloud and it comes diagonal, so it'll come like that.
so what do
But
you mean? So you go
he
out
goes,
and then
no, I throw on the normal side, like if I'm on the left, but where the Tama for him doesn't cross the Ken. Like it won't cross the Ken, it'll just stay on that left side the entire time, going in a complete
yeah,
full circle. Whereas mine like ends up crossing.
yeah, I do that too. Yeah, that's crazy. You ends up crossing. I don't know how
Okay,
you would ever do that.
good.
Okay,
Yeah, well, it tugs on the right, it tugs on like the correct side, except it just comes around. Yeah,
just
I don't know.
it comes off
It's a little
differently. Yeah.
diagonal, but anyway. Yeah. Anyway.
All right. Should we get into? I kind of want to talk about. We want to go through some of our favorite tricks. But first, I kind of want to talk about my practice regimen. See what you guys think.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So I've switched up my practice regimen a lot. From doing little games that I kind of played a mock opponent. I've just focused on 3 times in a row. This time I kind of color coded these tricks because I think I can kind of categorize each trick into like I have really consistent, I just need that next level of consistency, or the cloud bounce, which is just a full on grind. It's just like a open process of learning, right?
Mhm.
And so I kind of want to separate these, but um, yeah. So the first thing I did was let me move the what's so annoying the chat box. Okay. So I kind of like categorized what kind of Kendama I want for the day, right?
Mm.
Um, and then I have a column here of which ones I've hit. Oh, I've hit this one recently, but I just still haven't hit this one. The 1.5
Yeah.
spec.
Yeah.
Next is which one's 3 in a row. I've done more so far, but what I've been doing recently is looking at my percentage.
Here
So,
we go.
Nice. Nice. There it is.
um, yeah, and like I'm not embarrassed about these numbers because
Wait, I have a
I
question.
think
Hold on.
if you do these numbers yourself, you'd be surprised of how low you get. I'd imagine getting
No
one of my
way.
easier tricks.
Okay, wait.
Um,
3 out of 50 though for two turn J.
yeah, that was a bad day. Honestly,
that
it was the
no
end of my
no.
session. I need to focus more. I need to focus more on that.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
but yeah, like this is my very first time doing like I do these tricks, I do them all once, and then like I kind of consider this test of me kind of exploring. I don't want to test myself too soon on these tricks. I want to like still kind
Hmm.
of explore some different strategies and tactics of way to do it. So I'm not really holding myself accountable to these numbers, but like the next time I do this, I'm going to be much more I'm going to concentrate much harder. Like, I mean, it's only
Yeah,
100%.
week one, so
yeah.
Right.
I kind of want to get like a really good number, not to reflect how good I can be at this, but just my base level of
Yeah.
minimum effort. Like, of course, I'm not trying, but like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I'm
Well, I think what you're doing is you're figuring out which ones are good, which ones are and then which ones are like, okay, this one's gonna be like super difficult. Like as we were
Right.
yeah,
talking about in the at the beginning, right? Like, oh, it's good to kind of like identify what tricks are how certain tricks are for you early, and then this is kind of what you're doing. You're not going super hard at them, but you're kind of just getting a feel, like you said, like okay, I like
Yeah.
this one, but then this one's okay, gonna be harder
Yeah.
than I thought, yada yada, like that.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So like
Mhm.
there's a lot of orange here, but people who would probably see this and think that I like would be discouraged by this, but I'm not because I kind of know how I'm looking at this. And I think people almost are afraid of putting a number on it because they don't want to see how bad they are at these tricks, but you just got to get over that. You just
Yeah,
got to
for
do
sure.
it.
No,
And
this
then you
is
just got
such
to,
a good method for
mm,
setting a baseline and making it visual. I mean, if you
yeah,
really think about it too, look, like you're you're at 26 out of 50 and 30 out of 50 on two tricks. Like if you really think about it, 25 out of 50, you're hitting a trick one and two tries. I mean, that's a
yeah,
really good place to be for an open division, you know?
yeah,
You're hitting it
yeah,
one and two, like come on.
yeah.
You know, that guarantees you a make in a match on every single trick. You know, I
Hmm.
mean, it doesn't
Yeah.
guarantee, but it makes your chances super high. So really, I mean, yeah, these tricks, I mean, yeah, out of 50, it's like, oh, okay, wow, like 30 out of 50, which is actually really good on inward juggle spike. But you're still like, okay, I missed 20 times. Well, I mean, I have a 60% rate of success. You know,
Yeah.
that's a lot. This is a very humbling activity to do, just like you said, because a lot of people would not get 25 out of 50 on most of these tricks, honestly. Like
Yeah.
actually. Like especially right off the bat. So for you to set a baseline like this so early on is really, really nice to do.
Yeah. It's going to be, like, of course I want to do well in the comp, but I've always just enjoyed seeing progress in a visual, you know? So
Mm.
Yeah.
this is, this is what I just imagined what I'd be at this, at these tricks. And of course I was like humbled, but like, yeah, switch 1.5 swap spike. What I imagine is this is one of the easier tricks. So I put it in blue, which I can imagine I can get 2 out of 3 times, more than 2 out of 3 times.
Right.
Um, and then I was less than that, right? I was 50. And then there's a few tricks, yeah, like two-turn airplane, right? This is one that I just imagined I would get a ton, but what kind of surprised me was if you can miss any part of this, like this, there's 3 parts, right? So if you miss
Right.
the first
Yeah.
part, it's a 0. But often I would get to the last part, or like the first like 10
Hmm.
attempts, I would get the two-turn airplane, and then I just miss the dub J barely, and then I start getting the dub J, and then I'm like halfway through my tries, right? But like I imagine that because I've been practicing this one every day, that this next time I do this, it's going to jump up to like 30, 20%.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think the goal, this is I think probably the biggest question that people have. Everyone has their tricks that they're bad at and the tricks that are good they're good at. They know the tricks. I guess they can figure out the tricks that they need to be good at, or it's okay to be bad at. I mean, there's some tricks and some trick lists that like they can't imagine anyone really doing. So maybe they can take a point on that, but they don't want to invest so much time into that just to like, the time that they invested, they're taking away that time from other tricks that they can get better at. And so what I
Hmm.
think the strategy, because you can see this and you cannot really know my strategy, but like my strategy is just to equally improve every single trick. So if I have a red trick down here, I want to get that to orange. If I have a
Mm.
blue trick, none of them are blue yet, but like if this becomes blue, I want to get that to, or I guess I want to get that to blue because it's green right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so I think my strategy is just to like equally practice every trick because
Hmm.
you're going to get every trick's going to randomly come up. There's no weight of like you're going to get this one more, this one less. So it kind of makes sense that because the chances are the same that you're going to pull these tricks, it makes sense to improve each one. But I've kind of like went back and forth on that before. There's some trick lists where I just didn't do a trick. But I think you guys have talked about not liking that method.
Of
And Liam talked
of
about that too.
sorry, what did you say? The method?
So like, yeah, like the method of like, I'm really bad at this trick. I'm just not going to invest any time in it. I'm just going to put my time into the other tricks that I want to
Mhm.
improve
Yeah.
versus
Well,
using that time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. That's a strategy for someone if like you figure out you're going to the event a week before and you don't have much time.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't really cover all your bases. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, as for I think you said earlier, you just said well just now like, oh, it's okay to be bad at this trick because everyone else is bad at it. But I just remember when after every time I would go really far in a competition, I would always love to, especially in the last day, the harder the tricks got, I'd be so happy because I mean, if a trick is super hard, well, then it's great because all I have to do is be better than the person I'm playing at it, and then
Yeah.
I usually can get a point. And I would usually always get points on the hardest tricks just because I knew that, people wouldn't be
Yeah.
spending as much time as me on them, or the base skill level of me is just higher than them. So I just have that edge. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, and honestly, if I'm going to be real, then there's not really a trick on any list to be okay to be bad at. But if you're trying to win,
Yeah.
if you're really going like super hard for the win, um, yeah, that's just my mindset.
Yeah.
You want to practice, you want to give yourself at least that hope of, I expect myself to hit this at least 1 out of 3 tries for
Yeah.
every single trick on the list. Yeah.
And what do you guys think about the strategy of, I guess you guys have a certain perspective because when you guys go into a comp, you guys are looking to win. Your goal isn't just top eight like it is from other players. But
Mm-hmm.
how do you feel about somebody whose goal is to just get to top eight? Would it make sense to avoid all of these and just focus on the tricks that will get you to top eight? Or maybe even for me, I mean, I have the goal of of getting on podium. Um,
Mm-hmm.
is there a strategy of practicing these tricks more, the pre tricks, to make sure I can get down there, or do you think I should practice each trick evenly?
You mean to
Well,
get to top eight, or do you mean practice each trick in the list like in entirety, like levels one, two, and three? Or are you talking about just practicing levels one and two?
Yeah, I guess I'm just figuring out deciding between those two of like obviously these tricks. Yeah, I think the earlier stages are more important. It wouldn't make any sense to only practice level two or level three because if you don't have level ones, you're never going to get to level two or level three. I don't know if it's right to say that these are more important. I guess it depends on their goal, right? What your goal is. Because if your goal is to win, then every trick is important. But yeah,
mm,
Yeah, I mean, also it just depends on your
yeah,
goal and like base skill level. It depends on your goal and how proficient you are with each trick. I mean, and mapping it out like this is a great way to do this. So I think that if a person has a goal of, let's say Isaac, like you have a goal of podium, okay, like you have a goal of podium at NAKO, that's awesome. Um, but I wouldn't expect a podium if you don't practice the top eight tricks. Like you're not.
yeah,
That's just not going to happen.
yeah,
And for I don't think it's wrong at all to have a goal of getting to top eight and being like, yes, I made it here, and now I didn't practice these tricks, and now I've reached my goal, and that's it. I mean, that's great.
yeah,
But nobody, I don't think, and with the exception of maybe like Alex Mitchell and Bonds, these people who are already, and they're not even really exceptions to this, to be honest, because they're already players who have put thousands on thousands on thousands on thousands of hours in to make their skill level so high so that they can kind of go in blind, or they could in the past, like Bonds, right? In the past, he was going in blind to these trick lists and still winning without practice. I mean, I don't think a person who's ever won besides them wasn't like, oh my God, I got it here. I got here in the top eight. Oh my God, I won. Like no, like that's what makes winning so tough is because it really doesn't really happen by accident. You have to put in work some way or another. And if your goal is to get top eight, that's awesome. But I hope like once that person most likely inevitably loses, in the top eight, then they're gonna feel like, wow, like okay, I got it here. I can actually practice for more next time because yeah, once you get to top eight, if you don't practice top eight tricks, I mean, they're already so hard. Even for people who are practicing them, it's already so difficult to land them.
yeah,
Uh, But no, I think leveling up your goals. I mean, people have those goals all the time. Like yeah, my goal is top eight for this event because it's super hard to do. And then from there on, once they hit it, it's like okay, then their capacity of what they understand for themselves to be possible is like now expanded, and then they can set a bigger goal for next time.
yeah. It's just I think the worry is that if I evenly distribute the limited time that I have on all of these tricks, then I'd be afraid that I didn't spend enough time to get these three out of three, right?
Oh, I see what
And
you
then,
mean.
mm,
but what you said makes sense too. But I think that's kind of the worry. Like, why would I like should I categorize my time into like if I have an hour to play, this is 30 minutes. This is 20, this is 10, you know,
Hmm.
Mm,
or 15, 15, or yeah, 20, 20, 20, right? Um,
Yeah.
that's something that I don't think, yeah, I think it's maybe an answer. The answer depends on the player's goal, but it's a really interesting question that's pretty unique to Kendama, I think, because I don't know many other sports that have these different stages where the tricks get harder.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it's tough because look, I mean, anybody like what I said earlier, anybody can beat anybody in level one. That's the
Yeah,
most dangerous time
yeah,
because all the tricks are the
yeah,
same, and even if the skill discrepancy is really high, in between the pro division, someone on the lower end of the spectrum can still beat someone on the higher end of the spectrum. It happens every single comp. It'll happen this comp too. You know,
yeah.
there will be upsets. If I had to just give it a blanket statement on this right now, I mean, I'd say. I mean, for you, Isaac, if people were watching, looking at your stats right now, I mean, just for you, Isaac, I think practicing, you're definitely going to be getting the first day tricks down a lot more than the second day tricks, just looking off the base stats right now. But honestly, if your goal is to I'd honestly put more time into the day two tricks. I mean, day two is really when a lot of differences are made. I mean, you're going to see a lot of people drop
Mm,
their proficiency, right? Like, I
mm,
mean, in day two, and then that, I mean, it's huge. I mean, if you get past day two, you're in freaking top eight, you know? I mean, that day two is massive. So,
yeah,
um, you're
yeah. I
gonna see a
think
lot of separation there. So I would go like 20. I mean, if you're really gonna do it, like I'd go like 20 minutes on the day one, like solid session on day two, and then yeah, day three
yeah,
is yeah. I would split it like that.
yeah, yeah. That makes sense because I think you're right. Like day two is kind of where those really good players that only had time to practice the first few tricks, they're gonna mess up on these more complicated specific ones that you can
For
get
sure.
ahead. And then obviously day three are the ones that the top players who practice a ton, you know?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, yeah, I that's really interesting. The day two is kind of like
It's a
really
huge difference. It
where
makes
it's
a
made.
massive
Yeah.
difference. And when you map it out like this, it's not just based on feeling. Like this is why I like so much about this because it's not like, well, I feel better on this trick. Well, I was feeling really good today. It's like, well, if you actually have numbers, you know, numbers don't care about your feelings. They'll just tell you straight up, and you
I
clearly have more
think
work
it's
to
a Ben
do
Shapiro.
on day two. Like you
Yeah.
clearly have more work to do on day two. So it's just kind of looking at it like that. It's like, all right, well, I'll spend
Yeah.
more time here where I'm like weaker, and then when you reassess again in like 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I don't know how many times like you're gonna try and do this before NAKO, where you actually go through all of them 50 times. But when you next retest, you can just adjust your
Yeah.
practice from there, and yeah.
What I was planning to do is to do each trick. So this is my 50 attempts. Next, I'm going to do each trick 50 times. It might be too much to do that. I think it maybe depends on the trick because obviously that's like a limit. That's a limitless sesh of like, I can't get this trick 50 times. Like it's been 2 hours. So I'm going to maybe,
Yeah.
yeah, like bring this back. But I guess I just like, this is my next session is like taking each trick, learning it for the most part, like practicing each trick and then doing the test again that I'll have more like I won't even take it seriously, but more seriously, but I'll just have more to prove. So like the trick's not going to beat me because like I know what I need to do, you know?
Mm.
And I
Mm.
think the biggest jump of these numbers is probably going to be after I do each trick that number of times. And then from there, I think I'll see like ideally it would be great. I think you would kind of want, I feel like you'd be in a really good spot to have this above 66%, 2 to 3 times. Like I know it doesn't see like that. Basically, it means like, okay, well, when you hit the comp, then you might miss the first one, you might miss the last one. But I think that percentage of 66%, even though it literally means 2 out of 3, I think it plays a lot better. Like if you have a trick 66%, like it's really down. And then if you're feeling confident on stage, you're feeling good, that's going to be, that's a good spot, you know? Like that's why I kind of curious of you guys doing this because I know you guys are not competing this year, but it would be so cool to see like maybe Nick you can do this or Zach like just like give a few inward stilt backflips a try and like get it down and then do it 50 times. I would love to see what you guys get. It would take like
Hmm.
30
Yeah, me
minutes,
too.
you know? Yeah, it'd be really cool.
50 times. That would
Yeah,
for just one trick. I feel like that would take like 5 minutes,
Yeah,
10 minutes. I
that
don't
wouldn't
know.
take that long.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I mean some of
Yeah.
these tricks take
50
longer,
attempts
but
now.
yeah. Like the bevel flick, stump pine flip. When you miss it, you just go back. So like that takes that's super quick. Yeah. But then like I'm avoiding the
Yeah.
Ken grip scooping goldfish straight down because I have to get on my knees or I think yeah. But yeah.
Mm.
It'd be cool to see what you guys get. What would you guys imagine you got if you did inward stilt backflip? Do you think you'd get it 40 out of 50, 30 out of 50,
Yeah, probably 40.
40? Okay.
I think I would get it 40.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, if especially if I warm up, I mean, yeah, for sure. But that's also one of my best tricks, you know? I mean, that's something that Nick and I have been doing for so long. So it's like,
Yeah, yeah. Or
yeah,
maybe there's a better trick. Maybe the two-turn airplane dub J stick. That'd be kind of fun to
that'd
see.
be a good one. That'd be tough. That'd be
Yeah,
tough.
yeah.
I think I'd probably get more than three, but
I think so too. I'll send you my next score, Zach, and you can try to beat
I want
me.
to see
We'll
10.
just.
I
Oh,
want to
dude.
see a form check. I just want to see a form check. How? Just how?
No, I think doing this whole process. Okay, wait. Yeah, let Isaac do it because the camera won't
No,
go on him.
I know he's good. I know you can do all of it. How do you do your rim jumping six?
Okay, here it is. Wait, Isaac, say something.
All right, this is I'm 0 for 2 right now.
No, okay, but what do you miss the most on this trick?
Oh,
What do you miss this the most?
no. I think I
Here it
just
is.
miss everything randomly. This is 0
Well,
for 5.
yeah. Wait, what? Wait, hold on. No, the orange jumping stick has got to be the toughest one for you. Like, see, how are you? Okay, okay, uh, okay. Come on, see. Okay, you've identified. Nice. That was one.
So I'm 1 for like 8 right now. So yeah, I think I'm
Okay.
gonna get.
Well,
I think I'd get more than 3. But again, this is one that like it was like I did this really
yeah.
quickly listening to a podcast.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I think.
Maybe it was the Kendama too. I don't know. I was a little like
See. Okay.
not con-
See. I'm just looking at you right now, and I know you're not focusing super hard, but I think you're going like way too fast.
really.
Maybe
I
that's
gotta
just
slow
my
it down.
style and how I do open, but like, hmm. See, when you do
Yeah,
the
I
first two
no,
turn
that's
airplane, you barely give yourself any room to move. Look, you're staying bent down. That's okay for some people. But sometimes you jolt up too fast, and then I'm just thinking probably could have been better to take a second. Um, some people like the flow. I
yeah.
personally, when it comes to this trick, I'm trying to just lock in hard for each part. Um,
Yeah, a little slower. Um,
yeah,
that's something that I think I can struggle with too because I'm not a very patient person.
no, I
If I do
see.
this 50 times, I'm just like, yeah, let's just do it. And then when I get on stage, I play really differently. Where if I'm on stage, I'm going to
Yeah,
focus each time, and then that discrepancy is not good. Like that's bad. I want to just really like slow it down, imagine myself doing it, right?
yeah, yeah. It's a lot more mentally taxing. You like going through a trick like this, especially just being
It
like, okay,
is.
I
It
can't
is.
miss it. You really have to try and replicate the feeling, and it's not, and it takes a lot of effort. It really takes a lot of effort, but I mean, that's
What
just
you
part
got
of
to
the
do.
game.
Part of the
Yeah,
game. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and actually,
yeah,
I was about to say the same thing. With this type of strategy, these amount of reps, 50 attempts on each trick, and if you're really visualizing, like you're really slowing down and really visualizing you're at the comp on every attempt for all these, that is so mentally taxing. It is
Dude,
very mentally taxing
you wouldn't
to
last
do
long.
that.
Like you would literally only be able
No,
to sesh for an
you'd
hour.
burn
Like
out. Like you'd
you
burn
burn
out
out. Yeah.
100%. And you know what? Like I know it's so different. Like this focus on stage, it's yeah, it takes a lot of focus. But you know, I heard this quote the other day and it just stuck with me. And I think it just comes back to flow state as well. And I listened to your podcast with Tayton Juggler and I thought that was awesome. But you know, some of these players, right? Like especially in freestyle, like Yasu, Takia, these best freestyle players, they just don't even, and this is not open, okay? So it's not open, but I think it's the same thing. People they're just doing, they're not thinking. And I think
Mm,
an open trick list too, and there's more time to, it's more encourages thinking, but I honestly think like a bird, I heard it was like a bird doesn't think about flying, it just flies, it just
yeah,
flies.
dude,
And
let's
so
go.
look, I mean, this simulation, right? The simulation of really visualizing the trick and visualizing how you'd feel in the comp day. I mean, it's gotta. I think there's definitely value to that, and I preach that. I preach that. I think there's value to that, but at some point after, I truly believe that at some point after you do that enough times, that amount of focus will just be there.
Yeah,
I think not, maybe not in all cases, but I think in some cases for sure. And the best open players, I mean, the best open players have. I mean, Nick can definitely speak to this. I can speak to this when I won Battle at the Border. I wasn't like, I mean, I was focusing, but I was just going, you know,
yeah. It wasn't
you
this
know,
like
and
super conscious, like, okay, now I'm here. Now I'm gonna do this
right.
trick. It was just like this high level. That's what dude, I feel like top performers and competitors, if like the tennis champion is
Dude,
going to
yes, let's get
Wimbledon,
it.
like
Yes.
like if he's not going, I think he's it's not that they can't psych themselves out, it's that they just know how to not psych themselves out. Is that like, okay, I just avoid thoughts, like I just avoid going
Yeah.
deep and I just fucking play. And then maybe I can gain consciousness and really think about where I am. If I'm like killing the guy and it's the last point, I want to take this in. But like, yeah, dude, I really haven't had an experience of like, winning something big before. Um, but that's what I'm trying to figure out. And I've read a lot of books. I read a book about like I've been looking for books about this kind of stuff. Whether it's like it's really specifically like your mental state when winning, And I read this book about this dude who was like a skeet shooter. Like he just shot clay pots and he was a champion. But it didn't really give me that much insight. But it's a really interesting thing to think about because I don't even know how you would study it, but the people who have that like mentality at the top of like actually coming through and not choking, it it's probably hard
Mm,
to explain, but I think it is like this thing that you need to tap into, And you need to like do it enough. You want to whine it enough, obviously, too. But it's more about the science of like
yeah.
choking and like avoiding choking.
Mm. Yeah, and no doubt that the mental game is definitely the most. I mean, the mental game, right? That's also separating the top players of Kendama as well in every sport too. I mean, you look at Djokovic and hopefully I said his name right, Djokovic,
Djokovic,
in tennis. Yeah, tennis. I mean, he talks about how the mental game is so like he talks about that,
everything.
massively. And when he's going in matches and stuff, and he says he talks a ton about how the importance of that. And I mean, I think that practice and all this practice, I mean, I think this for any sport, right? Like practice doesn't guarantee a certain result. It does not,
No.
like just because, um, you know, it's not like if a person puts 1,000 hours into the NAKO trick list, it doesn't mean it's like, all right, dude,
No.
that guy's guaranteed, that guy or girl is guaranteed top three. No, it doesn't guarantee. I think what it does do though is it just guarantees it does guarantee a higher level of confidence. It gives you the confidence. It gives you more confidence than if you were
Yeah.
not to. That is undeniable. Especially when you can see it on paper like this, like what you did, when you can see yourself and you see the proficiency level, like those numbers don't lie, and it gives you a
Yeah.
certain level of confidence that you would never ever achieve prior. And I think
Yeah.
that's really really
Yeah.
important too. And I don't know, like I mean, we have a person here in this podcast right now who's won like 1 million Kendama events. I mean, Nick, like what was your mental state? Can you speak to anything we're talking
And
about right
also,
now?
have you choked before,
Mm,
Nick? Have you gotten in your own way
for
in your
sure.
head, and then you lost? And then what was it like coming back from that?
Uh, man, have I? I mean, obviously, I've choked. I've
Yeah,
choked many first
but
place.
but like choking in a way where like I know choking is just like the term, but just I think everyone kind of knows the feeling of like this is where I can win. I'm up big, and then your head gets in the way. You start like kind of freaking out. You're thinking too much. You're missing stuff that you should be missing. You're playing way below your ability. because of the pressure.
Yeah. You know, I don't like when hmm. I think I've choked sometimes when I lose the momentum of all that I've been doing and in the whole comp, like leading up to the final match, like all the days. And then I see momentum swing in the match and then I'm not able to recover. And that's where it sucks. Like I'm up
Yeah,
by 2 points, I'm up by 3 points, but then they get a point and I'm just like, wait, what? I wasn't supposed to miss that. And then they get 2 points in a row. And then I'm just thinking, what's going
yeah.
on? And then that's usually where I've noticed I've
Self-doubt.
choked like that a couple of times. Yeah, like, okay,
Yeah,
why is this person coming back? How's that possible? But yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's choking. It
And then maybe
honestly just
winning.
comes from a
Yeah.
lack of and I think maybe just choking comes from a lack of preparation at the end of the day for me. I'm thinking that all the past times I've choked is that it's all it's told me is that I really just didn't say or I didn't prepare as much as I said I was going to, or I just thought, I that small feeling in the back of my mind where like, oh, maybe you aren't ready enough. Well, that was actually true because you weren't as ready as this person that you're playing right now in this moment. And so all the times I think I've choked is when I thought, yeah, I could have done more in the preparation. That's like where
Mm,
all my confidence comes from because once I know I practiced and really gave it my all just to prepare, I walk in and especially when I get to the final day, I clearly know. Like I remember I just thinking so many times there's nobody that's better than me at
yeah,
all in this whole like
yeah.
and not only in the competition but the entire like venue and I just thought there's just no way I can't
It's
do
full
this right now.
confidence. It's like
Yeah, yeah.
it's like emotional almost. Like it's not. Yeah, it's funny because like this way I want to gravitate towards where like I got to take the emotion out. I just know I can hit this trick 66% of the time. I know with those odds I'll be able to beat anybody. But I think that that doesn't get you all the way to first place. I think you need this. I mean, maybe ego, or you need this like
Mm,
this fucking feeling of like, yeah, I'm better. Like I'm better, and then just like this full.
for
But it's
sure.
just so it is like this emotion that you can tap into,
Yeah.
and then also on the downside of that with choking, it's like when you miss that trick, and then the person gets it, and then your mind just goes to it goes past to I'm gonna lose, but it goes past to like, wow, what are people gonna think of me when I walk off stage and I lost? Like what am I gonna think after I got second
Yeah.
place when I was up this high? Your mind just goes straight out over there, and then if you're at that point, there is no possible way you're gonna win, like unless you get super lucky, right? Like you've lost.
Yeah.
But and I know it's like kind of cliche saying this kind of stuff, but I guess coming
No,
from
it's
my own
true though.
experience of like being confident, going to win, yeah, yeah, and then also just the opposite, right? Like, yeah, man, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, I totally can understand that feeling of, yeah, your mind wanders. You're like,
yeah,
okay, what is happening? You start having like a mini panic attack. You're just
yeah,
at this point, if your opponent doesn't miss, then you're thinking, oh my God, this guy's invincible right now. But
yeah,
uh, yeah, man. I think it just comes down to, for me, like I said, just all the confidence I've ever had comes from preparation. If I'm really confident in my preparation, then I'm really confident in my ability to win.
yeah,
I remember actually somebody coming up to me at NAKO 2022. I was playing them in one of the days for Open, and they saw me in the bathroom because we both go to the bathroom, wash our hands for a match, and they said, "Hey Nick, you ready?" Like I was about to play them, and I just like you ready to go up there, dude? And I was thinking, yeah, like I'm just gonna destroy you. Like it's gonna be. I just remember looking at that person and just giving him a straight look and be like, "Yep, no, I'm ready." And then I didn't really laugh or anything because I just thought, yeah, this is gonna be really sweet for me. And then the match lasted maybe 1 minute, so yeah, it was great. I
yeah,
remember obviously it could have lasted longer if the person was better, but no matter what, I just knew I wasn't going to lose out. I just knew I had
yeah,
prepared better that day. So yeah,
yeah,
obviously it doesn't
yeah,
always go your way, but I think it's good to have that confidence, and you can't really,
yeah.
it's not confidence you can fake either. You
No,
can't really fake that confidence. It's got to come from effort and hard work. So
yeah,
that's how I make
No,
mine.
yeah. And also like that confidence, that you had, it's also because of everything else that you're doing too. It comes from, you know, from what I was observing too. I mean, yeah, I mean, Nick was super, super confident back in the day, of course, and I mean, still is. But 2018, like nothing, he had full belief in himself, to that he was going to win every single comp, and rightfully so because of the proof he already gave, and I think also from on top of the comp specific preparation practice, I think preparation also just means really just playing a ton of kendama. You
Yeah.
know, Nick's getting that confidence boost because what Nick said about being the best player in the venue. It's not like it's like, okay, who's the best player in the venue at these tricks? Like, no, I'm just talking about just period. Like just period. The best player, just undeniably, just raw skill. Like that gives you a lot of confidence too. I mean, why do you? I mean, I think that's why Taki has so much confidence as well. Because I mean, that guy knows he's just way better than everybody. So all he has to do is just execute, and it's game over because he's put in that many hours, and I think plays a big part of it too. So just playing Kendama a ton, first of all, and then also with the comp specific practice, it's like that's a massive foundation for confidence.
Yeah.
Mm,
I
yeah.
Another thing I wanted to talk about too was um I've had different strategies going into comps before where I'm either really focused on my mental state, preparation when I'm practicing tricks, I'm envisioning the stage, and that's going to take more time. I think it's important too, but I think for this year, what I kind of want to try out is just doing these tricks a ton, like just getting,
Mm.
because you guys know how consistency is made. It's just you can't envision consistency. It's not something that like you can like will yourself into. It's just doing this trick a ton of times for a long time. Like I can imagine tricks that I do now that I'm like the best, like 100% consistent at. For example, like 1.5 swap in, right? Like if I were to pick a
Hmm.
trick, or like big cup or spike, even, right? Like if I were to pick a trick that I'm that good at, it's only because of how many times I've done that. For the length of time is really important too, for years and years and years and years. Obviously, I
Mm,
only have 3 months or 2 months for these tricks. So I think this year, I'm really just like, I think, well, sorry, but like previous years, I'd kind of slow down at the end and start envisioning more and taking it slow and really focusing on
mm,
tricks and taking my time. And maybe I'll do that at the very end. But like, I think this year, I just want to like, just fucking run through these tricks, like just do them
mm,
so many times. And
mm,
yeah, just I think there's different strategies that can give you confidence, but I think um, the day of, if I'm fully confident uh, and I'm like feeling good on stage, I think just the amount of time I've hit those tricks is gonna. I don't know. I think it's hopefully it will help me and work, but
yeah, yeah.
I'm trying that out.
Well,
Yeah,
especially, yeah, definitely. It's good to experiment because if you're looking
yeah,
for a different, like, playing, like, what was it? Sorry, how would I phrase confidence? When you're on stage, if you're still searching for that, then yeah, definitely try out this new practice strategy. And I also definitely agree if you're looking at it on stage and you're thinking, I've done this, you pick a trick and you're like, oh, you know exactly how many times I've hit this. It's been over 500 times. So
yeah,
if it's some big
yeah,
number like that, that generates
yeah,
confidence for sure. So
yeah.
um, yeah, I think that's cool. That's cool. I
Yeah,
think it'll be good.
I think hitting a trick a large amount of time, like that might be the most important variable. I mean, even like
Yeah.
even uh yeah, dude, you can't hit a trick that many times and like have bad form or not be confident. Like if you hit a trick enough times, like
Yeah.
what even if you
That's
don't
true.
focus three in a row, like if you hit it that many times, you're just gonna be end up getting them three in a row because you just have so much knowledge of that trick.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah.
I'm kind of going like quantity to see how that
Yeah.
is. But yeah,
Yeah. That's good. I'm excited to see how that pays off. And I know you're going to record numbers too, so it'll be cool to look at. Yeah.
yeah, for sure. I'll probably do a few videos on this. I don't know how exciting the videos will be compared to KWC because KWC it's much more interactive and I'm like flowing through tricks and they're hard tricks, so it's much more fun to watch. With this, I'm trying to think about what kind of YouTube video would be entertaining. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I guess
Mm-hmm.
maybe just not like a ton of videos, just doing like a checkup every month or something would be
That'd be
probably
good.
fun for
Yeah.
people to watch. But um, yeah, I'm also kind of putting myself out there. I don't know if I would do this 5 years ago because I was much more attached to like winning and losing. I don't know if it's just getting older, but I noticed that like for example, and I was the exact same way, but my little brother, he gets angry when he misses a 3-pointer. Like I'm training him, he's trying to make the team, and he's not going in, and it's just this like anger. And I felt the same way of like I'm doing like yeah, I guess it's self doubt, it's negative feelings or whatever. But when I when I shoot a three, like me and my dad and my brother are like trying to see how many threes we hit in a row. I know that if I all I know is I can just throw my best shot up there with the right form. And if it goes in, it goes in. If it doesn't go in, it doesn't go in. Um, and if I miss a bunch in a row, I just know that there's nothing me personally, my ego, or it's not like me as a person that's bad. It's just like the form that I'm using and the shot. And maybe this is that like past confidence flow state where like, yo, okay, like I'm missing a lot. I must need to change this. Like it's more of like taking myself out of it and just looking at like the actual physical thing that I'm doing. Of course, basketball is different because I've been shooting for so long, and Kendama is much more recent. It's also much more technical. Um, it requires much more patience, and it's not as a fluid motion as shooting a shot. But like, uh, oh yeah. So back to what I was saying. Like, I think putting myself out there, throwing my goals out. I don't think it's necessarily going to help me. I don't think it's necessarily going to hurt me either. But I think it's just
Mm.
something that I could do because um, yeah, I think people would be really afraid of doing this because when they lose first round, they'd be really embarrassed. And like I'm gonna be really mad if I lose first round for sure. But I think I won't be super embarrassed because I know that I am just physically doing as best as I can. I'm gonna have as much confidence as I can. If I don't have confidence that day, it's not this Isaac is bad or anything. It's just like, okay, I just need to work on my confidence. I need to work on this. I need to work on that. Um,
Hmm.
I feel like that's a pretty good mentality. I definitely know it's a good mentality because I've applied it to other things as well. And like, whether it's, yeah, like I think if you're just honest with yourself of like, okay, it's because I didn't practice. It's not because I'm bad at kendama. It's just because I didn't practice enough. And I think that's a really good
Yeah.
mentality to have.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's definitely growing, like signs of growth there with verbalizing your goals and just everything you've said so far with I mean, yeah, you're definitely right. People they don't want to speak it into existence because they're just afraid of it not actually happening.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of also another confidence mental thing to get over for some people. And it's tough because
Yeah.
we've all been there,
Yeah.
on that other side. But maybe that confidence is, and it's not, some people just say it to say it, but some people say it with confidence that's backed. And I think that's just kind of, if you're someone who says, if you're someone who's, does the things that you say you're going to do, like you are going to put on the reps and you're going to do that with the numbers and you're going to track and yeah, you're actually going to do it. I mean, I can see why you're so okay with saying stuff like this out loud on the podcast because it's just who you are. Yeah, like you're going to
Yeah.
deliver on what you say you're going to do, and after that, it's like that's all you can control. So if you're doing things you can control, then you're doing
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. Um,
yeah,
but also not to say
yeah,
that I'm like super enlightened and if I lose first round, I'm gonna be like at peace and everything because I'm probably gonna be really mad and I'm gonna
for
have
sure.
the
Well,
same
yeah,
feelings of everybody else of like, oh God, I recorded all this, I did all this work and I lose first round because I just like choked or whatever. Like that's gonna really suck. But um,
Yeah.
yeah, I just hope it doesn't happen. Yeah.
And I think
I
I
don't
think
know.
I think recognizing and acknowledging the emotions that come with it. Yeah, some people, and then you brought it up. You're like, yeah, take the emotion out of it. It's just this, and that could help for some people. But I mean, I've heard Djokovic say this too, and I definitely agree with it. I mean, just feel the emotions that you have while competing and these things that happen. Anger. It makes a lot
Bad.
of sense to have anger
Yeah.
when you lose, right? Like you worked
Yeah.
hard for something, and and even when you're like really when you feel the butterflies in your stomach, whether it be nervousness or excitement, how you interpret that emotion, is it nervousness or is it excitement? I think that's a
Yeah,
big
for sure.
I think that could be something that's a big frame of mind to work on too, because I mean, winners probably think more of that it's excitement than nervousness, but just to really own it and be like, okay, I am, acknowledge it, be like, all right, I am this. How do I, you know, deal with this emotion while I'm in there? Because I don't know, just because you just say to ignore the emotion is really hard. It's
Yeah,
actually it takes a lot of effort. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm really nervous right now. It's like, okay, well, try and ignore it if you can, but it's probably a lot
yeah,
easier to just accept it and just deal with it as it is. And you can
yeah,
say that for a lot of other things too, like anger and sadness. And it's nice to have all these things and these emotions, these feelings that you feel, whether you win an event and you got like ecstasy, this feeling of amazing, just massive pleasure and achievement versus whether it be that or whether it be, losing first round and just being pissed off first, a bit. I
yeah,
mean, I think it's nice that to feel both of those because it's just more motivation to do what you want to do and the goal going forward, and
yeah,
whether either outcome.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I think well, it's also cool because I think we have a really unique opportunity to feel these because it's not like everybody feels these things. They go out through their daily life and they go out not really being competitive as they grow up and or maybe they were as a kid, but then once they get to adulthood, they give up on the
Yeah,
sport, they just do their job, do whatever, they get comfortable. It's like it's fine, but they don't really know what it's like anymore to feel that the greatness of winning or the toughness of just losing when you were so close or missing the
yeah,
last shot or these things. I mean, it sucked. Yeah, for sure. No one wants to, it's not, it's okay to be, you're going to be sad if you screw up bad, but I mean, at least you get to feel these things. It makes you,
yeah.
if you
Human
honestly zoom out, it's
experience.
like, you're definitely, it's the experience and you're also just being human. Like
Yeah,
you're out there trying hard. And then you clearly are sad because you tried hard and you didn't get the result you wanted. It's like, oh, great. You just did something that actually not a lot of people do, but we actually get to do as Canal players on a consistent basis, depending on how you look
yeah,
at it. So I think that's also a really good blessing that we have. It's just we get to feel that all the time. Well, more than most. So
yeah,
it's good.
yeah, dude, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the best. Um,
Yeah.
I vote that we move our favorite tricks to the next meeting
Yeah.
just because it's been a while and it's really nice outside. I want to go practice after showing you guys these tricks. I need to get double J down.
So wait, by the way, before you go,
Maybe
did you
yeah.
say did you say what your practice regimen was? I know you're going to try to hit all the reps, but is that what you meant? Do you have anything
Uh,
specific? What do you do? Because you say
for
you're going to mention that.
for what? The next steps?
For NAKO, you said I want to talk to you guys about my regimen, but I'm going to first show you guys my stats, and then we looked at your stats, and then not sure if we discussed like if you have a specific practice regimen because you just
Oh,
said you're
yeah.
just going to run through them all, but yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, I go out, I do each trick.
Okay.
If I haven't hit the trick yet, I give it 10 minutes. And if I don't get it 10 minutes, I move on.
Okay.
But even with like the cloud bounce trick, I'll probably put a timer on because there's a chance that in 10 minutes I won't get it, but I put 10 minutes in. And then
Nice.
I move on to that next task, which right now I'm gonna do I'm gonna get like that first. I want to get my stats in every trick, just like a baseline stat,
For sure.
um, and then kind of build up from there. Maybe I will put a little bit more emphasis on the first ones or the second ones. I'll kind of figure that out as I go. But yeah, the next step is definitely to like hit I don't go directly in order too. It just depends on how I feel. Like in the beginning of the session, I'm going to get out the
Mm,
bad ones that I don't want to do, right? Like the inward or
yeah.
stilt one. But at the end of the session, I'll just skip to like the ones that I want to do. Like I'll skip the 3-2-1 tap or something at the end of the session. And then
Nice,
next
nice.
step is doing each trick 3 times. And then I'm going to run back through the test. And then I kind of might keep doing that or yeah, I'll see what I need to do, but probably something along those lines.
Nice. Yeah, looking
Yeah.
forward to a video of
Yeah.
some
All
sort.
right, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
let's
Yeah.
go. Good luck with the training.
All right. Thanks, Nick.
Yeah.
Good talking, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
All
Yep.
right. See you.
Peace.